Hi there. This is not a complicated deck because it is just a brown deck. And Vladimir, who is not great, but he is fun. And if you've seen a previous guide on a Braum and Vladimir deck, well, you're just gonna hear the same things again here. So just skip to the gameplay if you already know what this is all about. And for those of you who don't know what this is all about, it's a Braum and Vladimir deck that focuses on keeping your board alive, keeping it strong, keeping it beefy, and uses the power of Crimson Curator to fill your hand and threaten people with even more people and just keeps your board alive. Just keep your board alive. Oh my god, just keep your board alive. If your board is dead, Vladimir doesn't do anything. For those of you who don't know what Vladimir is all about, look at this. Look at this nonsense. He drains now instead of damages people when he levels up, and that's pretty cool. But he also doesn't do anything alone. He's a closer for games you're already probably winning. He tips it over. It's such a strange card, this Vladimir, and he's really not the star of the show either. It's everybody else. He's just a guy who swoops in and takes credit for all the good things that the rest of your deck did. I don't know if it's mid-range. It's probably closer to Aggro as a deck, so we're gonna call it Braum Vlad Aggro, in that the focus is on applying early damage and using Noxian Fervor, and Vladimir as a closer. Let's get to the deck bits. These are the deck bits. That's an elixir of iron. 1 burst. Give an ally +0/+2 this round. Keep board alive. Make good trade. Crimson Disciple. 2/2/3. When I survive damage, deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. One of the better cards in the deck that is filled with okay cards. I'll be honest. It's just filled with okay cards. It can just be confusing enough to steal you a win. But the point is, this burns. It's very punishing if you can use a transfusion, which is also in the deck, to buff this up, proc its damage, take control of the board, and have a unit alive to keep procking your Vladimir. It's just a really strong card with a lot of synergies. Imperial Demolitionist. 2/2/3. Play. Deal 1 to an ally to deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. It's a 4 damage play combined with the Crimson Disciple. That seems good, right? That seems fair. Ruthless Raider. 2/3/1. Overwhelm and Tough. If you think that's front-loaded, you're probably right. This card has a lot of things going for it, up to and including the fact that Imperial Demolitionist can target it and do nothing and still deal the damage. Transfusion can use it as a sacrifice, and you still get the buff. Ember Maiden is its best friend in that Ember Maiden does nothing to Ruthless Raider. He's just thanks for the little tickle. Also, it's a great way to just hurt things. The fact that it's free is important. Fearsome is coming back into style, I believe, because there's a lot of fantastic 2/3 units on 2, and sometimes even on 3. Fearsome punishes that immensely. Transfusion, a buff. Deadly would be Crimson Disciple. Deadly with the Braum. You know what? Sure, it's kind of deadly with Vlad, I guess. Burst, deal 1 to an ally to give another ally +2/+2 this round. Very strong, very neat trick, and is one of the primary reasons people will hesitate to attack into you if you have 2 units on the board and 2 mana open. Good card. It's also the reason why we can afford to have 9 2s, because it's okay if you underdrop if you pack in a transfusion, because that's such a massive boost, +2 attack and +2 defense, and your unit gets to stay alive, unlike, say, Mark of the Isles, which was nerfed from +3/+3 to +2/+2. All-star card. Don't remove it. Use it to protect good units. Crimson Curator, the silent all-star of the deck. 3/3/3. When I survive damage, create a random Crimson unit in your hand. We do not have a lot of draw. We don't even have a Babbling Bier to fetch a Vladimir for us. All we have is the mulligan, and that's not a good thing to rely on. So we rely on a Crimson Curator instead to fill up our hand, to make sure that we always have something to play. And you know what? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're not a control deck, if you're not a combo deck, you're pretty much happy with whatever you get with Crimson Curator. You're generating more cards. You're generating more value. You're forcing the opponent to spend cards to remove units that came from nowhere, essentially gaining card advantage, which is, say it with me, fantastic. I did not establish enough of a pattern to expect you to say fantastic there, but let's all pretend that you said fantastic there, alright? Okay. Culling Strike. Free. Fast. Kill a unit with 3 or less power. Who do we hit? Braum. What kills a Braum? Culling Strike. Ember Maiden. Because you want to wipe out tiny units. 3/3/2. Round start. Deal 1 to everything. Both Nexuses and all units on the board. Briefly, people believed that it also meant units in the deck. Nah, dog. Also, the art is fabulous, and I don't know how she got that haircut, because that seems like it requires a lot of hair gel, and I don't think they've been pillaging the bits for hair gel. Please do not bring up that old Ben Stiller movie. Anyway, good unit, can wipe out tiny boards, can set up damage plays, can set up defenses with Braum, can proc your Braum, generate a lot of synergy. Naturally, it does not do as much as, say, in a Swain deck or even a Sejuani deck that has a beautiful, beautiful Sejuani, but it still has a place in this deck. Although between the Ember Maiden and the Crimson Curator, I would be more likely to play the Crimson Curator simply because it can apply pressure in the mid game by generating random units. Noxian Fervor. Free, fast, deal free to an ally to deal free to anything. Dominating the board isn't that much of a problem with this deck, especially considering we have a lot of tools that let you win combat or survive combat or outright kill their early game, allowing your mid-game units to just flourish and fight unimpeded. So the real question that this deck has to answer is, how does it actually close out the game? Noxian Favor does that. As an added bonus, you can end up proccing your Vladimir, who does have regeneration, or you can end up proccing your Braum, because Braum is 1-5. Is he 1-5? Yeah, he is. If you're relatively certain that the other guy can't do anything, if he doesn't have any mana, then you could just Noxian Fervor, oops, my Braum is awake, and I killed another unit, or hurt your Nexus. Take Heart. You can't have a Braum deck without Take Heart. Actually, you probably can, but I'm just addicted to Take Hearting Braum because a 4-8 unit is terrifying, especially since it regens, has Challenger, and can grow into an even larger unit that creates free Overwhelm units. Grant a damaged ally +3/+3. You can try to set up plays with Braum with this, and it's almost always worth it. Pushing him out of Culling Strike range alone is pretty much a good reason. Making it almost impossible to kill him short of a Vengeance or similar effect is also fantastic. Imagine spending 8 mana on Braum for a Phernogenic Beam that you can simply dodge with that 1-cost buff whose name escapes me that I mentioned at the start of the video. This is a great card. This is a terrifying card for people to face. Play it. You may consider dropping this to 2 and removing other units, or other cards rather, to add a bunch of birds, the 1-cost bird, the Omen Hawk, to buff your units. As a 2/6 Braum is just as scary because it's almost impossible to kill him. It's an incredible blocker. But I like free. I like using it. I want some more of it. Braum Man, 4/1/5, Challenger and Regeneration. And the first time I survive damage, summon a Mighty Poro. I've survived 10 total damage. That is a leveled up Braum. He's very big, and now he just keeps summoning Mighty Poros whenever he survives damage, which is a likely outcome. He turns into a Take Heart. That's a Mighty Poro with his mustache. Great mid-game card. One of the problems that the old version of this deck had with the old version of Braum is that it could not really develop extra units on the board efficiently, and you really need those extra units because Vladimir needs friends, which fits in with his flavor so much in that he's like a blood mage or something and needs to draw blood from people. He's not actually a vampire, I think. He's just like, I'm gonna use your Hemo Goblins to make goblins or something. I never played League. Braum gives him extra bodies. Leveling him up is not one of your priorities. It's nice if it happens, but really he's here to secure and stabilize the mid game. He does a great job of doing that. Fury of the North, 4 burst. Give an ally +4/+4 this round. It big punch. Now there is some discussion that says having Elixir of Iron and Fury of the North and Take Heart in deck seems a little excessive. Every unit you lose is devastating because you can't easily replace it. So keep them alive with Fury of the North and the other cards. Also, I guess it deals damage. Vladimir, 5 attack. For each other attacking ally, deal 1 to it and 1 to the enemy Nexus. Level up. You've had 6 or more allies survive damage. Vladimir does not need to see this nonsense to benefit from this nonsense. He levels up, gains regeneration, becomes 6/6, and instead of dealing damage, it drains the Nexus. Ooh. Yes, it can kill your units, but, you know, it's a really strong effect. It can let you recover from a losing situation or it can break a stalemate. What's important and probably the most problematic thing about Vladimir, as I mentioned earlier, is that he's not necessarily a win condition. He doesn't pose an immediate threat just by landing. Like, hi, I'm 6/6 with regeneration. Sure, but I don't have Overwhelm, and I need friends for my ability to actually matter. And that's okay. He doesn't need to be an all-star. Think of this as more a collaborative, crowdsourced event where you're crowdsourcing victory from the blood of your own units instead of the blood of your enemies. And that doesn't seem like a sustainable business plan, but that's what Vlad is bringing to the table, and we're here to take advantage of that. Leveling up Vladimir is important. I would slam him down most of the time. He is a great blocker as well. And he turns into another transfusion, which is the +2/+2 deal 1 damage to an ally card. And Crimson Pact is the skill, which is interesting because it can get denied. And that's okay. If it gets denied, it happens. And your attack is still going. He can generate a surprising amount of damage. And don't be afraid to slam Vladimir down. In fact, don't be afraid to slam down your units. You're not here to out-clever people. In fact, and our last card, Scar Mother Vraina. Overwhelm 6, free 8. When I survive damage, grant me +3/+0. She can generate a surprising amount of damage. End of sentence. Synergizes with Ember Maiden. Synergizes with Noxian Fervor. Synergizes with Transfusion. Synergizes with that 4-drop 5/5 that damages all of your units if you happen to pull it from a Crimson Creator. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Scour Mother, especially in a faster meta. The meta seems to have slowed down somewhat. I know Noxus Burn is running rampant with Darius and Harrowing, and I know that deck sometimes doesn't even have champs anymore. It just has Harrowing and like, everything's horrible, everything's on fire. But sometimes the game can get slow and you need another threat that isn't Vladimir or Braum, and Scar Mother Vrina does it. The Overwhelm really tips her into an amazing card. She can produce a surprising amount of damage and force damage through, so have fun with that. Other cards you can include into the deck are Omen Hawk, because it is immense value. Unscarred Reaver, if, you happen to want to lose more games, I guess. Brother's Bond for that extra aggro flavor. You do have a lot of cards that allow your unit to survive anyway, and Brother's Bond is a permanent +2 attack to 2 units, making it worth it. It also solves some of the problems that the deck has in that our attack tends to be on the low side. Brother's Bond will help you solve that problem. Started Seer is also not a bad choice. We do have 17 or so spells in the deck, and Started Seer can create a massive unit that forces removal or a big response from the other side of the board, which leaves your Vladimir and your Braum and your Scar Mother Vraina free to wreak havoc. So you can go Rafiki. If you do decide to add Started Seer, I think I would replace the free 1 Overwhelm unit with Started Seer, because while the unit is good and while the unit synergizes with a lot of our ping our own units effects, that's all it does. It is just a free 1 unit. I do like the idea of replacing Ember Maiden with Avaros and Trapper, simply because it gives us even more big bodies to put into play. And since Pilfer/Nab is getting nabbed more and more, I'm perfectly comfortable creating Yetis on the top of our deck again, because they're not going to get stolen and make us feel bad. The old version of this deck also carried Whirling Death for extra combat tricks, but while we have the defense to justify the existence of Whirling Death, the problem that we have now with Whirling Death is that we don't generally have a lot of attack. So even if our Whirling Death is safe to resolve, it does not hit as hard as I would like it to. However, if you decide to add Brother's Bond into the mix, Whirling Death might be worth adding again. I used to think a lot of Bloodsworn Pledge, but that was before Fury of the North was printed. 4 burst, grant 2 allies +0/+3. You can add it, maybe focus more on developing a strong overwhelming board. Remove Noxian Fervor and add Bloodsworn Pledge to it. But still, I just can't feel that it's good. Maybe 2 of them would be nice. The boost is permanent, and that's great. Still, it's for a defensive card. And I feel like if you're playing something that you cannot afford on spell mana alone, it should tip things largely into your favor. Like Fury of the North, while not permanent, can turn the tide in your favor. Like you can kill a big unit with a tiny unit, an unexpected tiny unit, and that's great. Well, this is like, this unit survives now. I guess it could be good on control decks that rely heavily on damage, or even obliterate effect from that one deep fish guy. Still though, I got my problems with the card. I have also briefly played with the idea of adding an Ancient Yeti Overwhelm round and reduce my cost by 1, 7, 5, 5. 1, because it has Overwhelm. 2, because it's 5/5. 3, because the large mana cost doesn't really matter to us all that much. While it does not synergize with many of our self-damaging plays, in that it cannot heal itself or does not like being hurt at all like the standard unit, the fact is it is pretty beefy and can be cheap. And the fact that and if you draw it late, it doesn't really matter. We don't have that many expensive cards in the deck. This is an aggressive deck. This likes to go in hard and start finishing people off by dominating the board and making them feel awful. So an expensive 7 cost 5/5. If you draw it on 7, you might not have anything to play anyway, so might as well drop the Ancient Yeti. I think you should add Battle Fury if you're bored, because I feel like it's just surprising. Surprise! Here's an 8 damage punch. Kapow! And you might win a game off that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck guide. If you did, please consider subscribing here, where you are watching the video, Patinator TV, or you can follow me and subscribe to me at twitch.tv/PatinatorTV. It would be very much appreciated because I like money. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or join the Discord. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I am Patinator, and we can do better. I built the worst version of this. It had Ash. Look for drops, look for drops, look for drops, drops, look for drops, look for drops, look for drops, drops. No, I have not. He's making game design videos. Is it... I'm sure it's good, but is it like positive or like... Because everyone seems super mad all the time right now. Not a good drop here. Interesting. I'll take interesting. I just don't want... Like, I get it. People don't like the meta right now. And... Like, I see that. And it kind of kills my joy a little bit when people... Like, this is the worst meta ever. But... Into design... A design perspective into it. I think I'm okay with that. I think I would appreciate that very much. Thank you for giving me the heads up. Maybe I could play this. Alright, I can play this instead. I've done it. The reason I don't like Avalanche in these decks is because of this card. And a lot of 2-3 cards. Well, if he doesn't play any cards, like we have some issues. Protect Braum, not this. Protect Braum, not this. Alright, that happened. I mean, he could have Vengeance. A lot of these do run Vengeance. But if he vengeance his dad, Vladimir gets to live. I do not mind if he passes. That's fine. 900% fine. Are you awake? He's not even awake yet. There's no value to this. Let's see if he has a buff for this. I could have done this here. No, that's fine. He needs to buff his Braum. If he buffs his Braum, this is very dangerous because we'll be waking up his Braum, and that's bad. He did not bring you to a corner. That's a dead Braum. Five? I'm a big fan of you, Vladimir, even though you're pretty gross. Is that for Anivs? Anivs! Do we open next round? That I'm thinking about open attacks means I'm not in the right headspace. 5 mana. We can do this to wipe the board, but if he does that, he's just going to attack anyway. So I'll just drop the Curator. Have these as defensive cards. 4 mana is interesting. Now we can punish a thingy. I don't know what we're punishing here. Whirling is important. So it's these guys first. Then this, then this. Drag this over here. Biggest burn ever. Five. Where can we find more damage? Oh, let's let him do his thing first. I kind of want this dead. Oh, he's doing more. Hold on, hold on. I thought he was done. I am kind of okay with this. It's an okay trade, I think. We keep a lot of our board. This gets to live. He tries to use a wide board destruction card. We can use Elixir of Iron to keep us alive. He's gonna use Whale. That's good. I'll keep this alive. I don't need to keep this alive anymore. This also gives us the Awakener play. Love this guy. I don't like the camera angle in this picture, but I love him. He has Ruination though, so this might not matter at all. Ruin? Okay. Thanks, cards. He's gonna attack with that. Play this first. This is really good for some reason. He'll block this down to 5. He'll need a buff for it. I think going pressure is fine. Interesting move. He needs to kill this. Hello! Thank you for the follow, I am Nutter. Hope you enjoy your stay. Mahalo. I hope you're having a grand time, and I hope that you are safe and you and yours are not sick. Yes, I just watched Hamilton. Why do you ask? No! He's got tricks up his sleeve. I accept. Oh, we didn't get a second one. Getting a second one would have been wild. Yeah, okay. Culling is fantastic if you place Anivia, but I think that's a second Ruination. Harrowing, I think we win Ruination. Not the most impressive stack. Actually, you can't play this. It doesn't change much. I can pass, right? I actually want to keep this alive, but I can't play this anyway, so it doesn't matter. I could have a vengeance. I need to build my board. Awakener kills nothing that we have. Makes this very big. I like the song, but I dislike the choreography in the one I watched. It was the most awkward choreography in the thing. If you're wondering who the best singer is and you're not thinking Lafayette or Washington, you're wrong. No, you're not wrong. It's just, I like them. They got good songs. Good. It should be game. Every match is a slog and I kind of like it. Alright, still going? We have display for this if he tries to do another wave shot. So now he's at 5. He's done. Tricky. That's the first time I think in the months I've been playing this deck. And by months, I mean like that one session I played this deck. That was the only time I got that going. I got Scar Mommy going. The name makes no sense, I know. A man of culture! Amazing. Or a man of poor life choices. I get it, though. Not bad. This is a battle for the board. Whoever keeps their board wins, because Vladimir keeps a board. Also, this is a game about punching the dudes. Probably the latter. I also get it. I don't know why they're on this. I mean, like, you want to high roll the Braum into that, I guess. And it is game winning to get a buff on Braum. Oh no, it's the birds. You attack with that, I pass. We will call it a day. I might not protect these. I might just protect Braum with a transfusion. That's a much more important turn. We can play slow. Yeah, protecting the Braum is more important. Interesting pull. We both had 2 mana. If I had to change my mind, I might not have played this. He doesn't have anything that reaches 5, so if he doesn't pull the Braum, I can block this and kill it. Interesting, right? The attacks are weird. Playing Vlad here is wrong. I have no way of killing their Braum. You can make it bigger and that's bad, but we have to try. Like if we get hit for 2, that's fine. Team bad life choices. We got it. That's fine. Yes. Taking the Masochist Viro the deck too seriously. You gotta commit. Alright, both of us are gonna do it then. Running the free drop is too far. Which one? It kind of worked for us. Oh, his Vlad's gonna wake up. Oh no. That's gonna hurt. And I think maybe we should have played our Vlad. Who are you pulling? Well, I mean, of course I have to block. He didn't do anything with the brown. That's interesting. At most, he can put this to 8. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Look at me, a real masochist. I played that card. But I am. He does have Noxus, so I can feel like he could have burn. Like 2 burn cards would be hilarious. Like 2 Noxian things. Pass. But we can block it. We can block 1. Alright, let's go, baby. Oh, this. Oh, you mean the Scarfane? It is a bit much. Be nice. I also did not activate this correctly. I should have played Transfusion first. So now we don't have life. I messed up. We're gonna die. Yes. If he has a second Vlad, we die because I did not think about the order of play. Eight, 8. So they're both dead. That's good. We tricked him. Oh no, he's tricked us both. Well, we lose, I think. Why did he buff it? Like, I guess he has a second Vlad. I know, right? I don't know what happened either.
Let the flames take you.
I don't need to do that. Please don't get a Vlad. If you get a Vlad, I'll be sad. Beefy brown. That's free. That's okay. It's just free, right? But I do need to block. For my Vlad? For ice cream. He didn't pull. Interesting. He has no cards. So we can block ideal. I can also make this live. Why wouldn't he? Life is strange, my man.
Sometimes icy hot just needs warm spot.
Ugh. We both are men of culture who made bad life choices. Come here, Poto. It's weird that he didn't pull anyone with vet. I don't know if it would have mattered. We might not have been able to kill his Vlad. Yep. Now I get to heal. Boop, boop. 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 This is a wild match and I appreciate it. Dude, how much did we drain? I think he's also done mentally. Like, we're peace out. We're out of here. Nothing ever matters. Okay, he's got a Vlad, which is dangerous. Hold on, we win, I think.
Let me show you what I can do.
Blood isn't a toy, dear.
We did.
I've dressed for the occasion.
Replace this. Deal 1 to this.
For the Empire.
Bloop. We tried. Team, poor life choices. We've done it.